Hey guys, it's Multiverse Citron here. Today, this video, I'm going to explain a little bit more about Citron and the S.H.O.T.S multiverse. Specifically, mostly S.H.O.T.S. Well, to start off with S.H.O.T.S, in the universe that they exist in, their main universe, which is Universe 2857, back in the Cretaceous period of everyone knows what the Cretaceous period is when it came to dinosaurs and stuff. There was an alien race known as the Tetherians. They lived on Earth. Well, Pangea, if anyone knows about ancient paleontology and paleological, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, them and thousands of other species were enslaved by demons, and some of them were technically like the ones you see in the Doom series, Doom Eternal and that kind of stuff. But there were higher demons that were more powerful than them, and they actually had they were beings that were like very intelligent. They were sadistic. They were just really, really dangerous, and each of them governed a certain part of the multiverse, certain part of certain things. Like, for instance, there were fire demons. Each one of these different demons had powers that were the same as their title. Like, for instance, the leader of this group was known as Shadow Skull. Now, he will be really important throughout the S.H.O.T.S multiverse. Shadow Skull was one of the commanding demons among the demons. He was a villain that had, he's been around for millennia, including the creation of the universe. After the Big Bang in Universe 2857, he's been doing this and that, doing evil stuff and trying to take over the universe there. Eventually, him and his people started enslaving the Tetherians, though. They weren't entirely that race. They were picked up from the source planet, the very first planet in in Universe 2857, and then taken to Earth and breeded to what they are today. Well, at that time. Eventually, there was a Tetherian that rose up against the demons and basically he became the first Tetherian king, and it started prosperity throughout the galaxy and maybe even the universe. Eventually, the demons found a way to destroy them, which, believe it or not, was the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. And basically, the entire Tetherian race was almost wiped out, except for several few that were known as the nobles. The nobles were eventually, before the meteor hit, they were put into specialized vaults, which are called the noble vaults. And one of them did not stay in it. This was the noble of genetics. Basically, each one of the nobles had a speciality for each of their skills. Like, one was a warrior, one was a librarian or knowledge keeper, so on and so forth. Eventually, we'll get back to the Tetherians in a second here. Jump forward a few million years to the Dark Ages. The demons came back, including Shadow Skull, and Shadow Skull led forces of evil against the kingdom of both Camelot and the world. Eventually, King Arthur asked his his wizard Merlin to summon warriors from throughout Earth and also throughout space to help them fight against this evil threat. Eventually, he did, and they started basically the first version of the S.H.O.T.S. Eventually, well, they weren't called S.H.O.T.S back then. They were called the Alliance of Light. The Alliance of Light eventually fought back against the demons, eventually imprisoning Shadow Skull for all time. Well, at least they thought for all time. Eventually, snap forward a few thousand years to the year 2004, which I know has already came and gone. There was the government found out about the demons coming back, and they decided to start a military program. Not exactly S.H.O.T.S, but their precursor, the superhero team. I know it sounds kind of weird and sounds kind of like Superhero Squad, but anyway, this force was able to combat the Shadow Alliance, well, that's what the evil forces were called. The way they did that is they recruited several individuals that were superhuman, metahuman, and so metahuman, mutants, certain stuff like that. One of the key members, these people would be known as the founders of S.H.O.T.S. So, these founders eventually became were exactly what I mean, the founders. The founders, though, they consisted of several different people and alien life forms that exist throughout both Earth and space. One was named Protaurus. Protaurus was a part of an alien hunter race. Protaurus he specialized in hunting, tracking, that kind of stuff. And eventually they had a weapons expert named Brukov-Rubowski. He hailed from Russia, obviously, due to the name. Mioke Mania, aka Dark Matter. She has the ability to convert anything physical into pure dark matter and store it inside of her, and then she could just pull it out and turn it back into to whatever it was before. Well, back to Brukov-Rubowski. He was an ex-Russian special forces, and he had the power to turn himself into solid stone. Yeah, there's a bunch of heroes that can do that, but yeah. There was a British operative named Kelsey Morano. Well, actually, that doesn't sound like a British name. I don't care. Anyway, she was a specialized archer and sharpshooter expert. She was, and also, then there was Ricardo de la Vega, aka Heatwave. Heatwave was one of the, basically you could tell what power he has. He wasn't exactly an expert at anything, except he was he just basically had his powers, but eventually he gained some skills. And one of their founding leaders was a teenage boy named Chris Carlson. Yeah, Chris Carlson was was basically their leader. Chris, he had the ability to cover his entire body with body armor, like a solid material metal that is, in layman's terms, either like vibranium or antimantium, or a combination of the two. And for some strange reason, he is the descendant of the great King Arthur. Yeah. So anyway, he's the descendant of King Arthur. So basically, they found out that Shadow Skull was released, and they decided to fight him. The first fight didn't turn out so good, but eventually they found out his evil plan. Basically, he created a kind of a space station known as a shadow weapon. The shadow weapon is a ship/satellite system that basically has the ability to destroy Earth. Yeah, kind of a Death Star kind of thing. But the thing is, every time it destroys a planet, it absorbs some of the energy from the planet, electromagnetic energy, and convert it into a power source to power itself. Yeah. But the thing is, if it takes on too many shots against planets, or if it can basically overload. But they've kind of figured out how to fix that by making specialized rechargeable batteries to charge up their ships and stuff. This reserve would eventually be used against the shadow weapon. So their next task was to go after them again, except this time, before Chris was able to join them, he found a sword known as Excalibur. Well, King Arthur's sword, of course, and he was able to use it to fight Shadow Skull. Well, the thing is, the reason why the Excalibur was so good about killing demons was because it was made out of a rare material known as soul metal. Soul metal is basically a spiritual kind of metal that has the ability, it's basically metal that has a soul in it. Kind of self-explanatory. So he used the sword against Shadow Skull, and they were able to overload the station, and boom. The thing is, Shadow Skull can't fully die. His body can get destroyed, but all demons are made up of an energy entity known as darkness. Darknesses can possess humans because of when they have evil thoughts in their minds or have evil souls that allows them to possess the human body and take control of it. Eventually they found another way to do this. Anyway, that's about it. I just want to give you updates. I'll give you more updates on the S.H.O.T.S universe as it comes around. I will talk to you later, and remember, never give up, never back down.